What's up, everybody? Brennan Morse here for Red State. By now, we have an established pattern when it comes to woke culture and woke entertainment. What ends up happening is political activists infiltrate studios, whether they're comic book makers, shows, movies, video games, and they will take a popular IP, a franchise, and try to write their own storylines based on their ideology and weave it into the previously established storylines, the IPs, the franchises, because it helps create a delivery system for their message. Something that you've already invited into your home, you love, you've supported in the past, and you will likely spend money to see. That way, they don't have to try to deliver their ideology or their ideas directly to you nakedly. Because if they did, you'd never accept them. Most of the stuff that they believe is bonkers. It's completely nuts. They have to try to dress it in something else in order to sell it to you. This is why you see a lot of properties, stuff that you grew up on, being bastardized and corrupted by these people who have political ideals in mind. Now, the pattern goes that this happens and then the fans react. People who are sick and tired of politics being introduced into escapism react. And it's detrimental to their message. A lot of people will just skip seeing it because they don't want to have their leftist ideals shoved in their face. They are not there to see propaganda. They're there for a good time. They're there to escape with their favorite characters and their favorite IP. And so the issue becomes, these people who speak out about it become the enemy. And they respond, the people who bastardized your favorite franchise, like Star Wars or Ghostbusters, Lord of the Rings, they respond by making you out to be evil. The people who speak out against it are evil. They try to make them sound like they're all sorts of ists and phobes. That's the established pattern. Well, now it would seem that they are nakedly afraid of you. They hate you, and they are going to now mock you for standing up for the things that you believe in. You can see it happen right now in the new show Velma. It's coming out on HBO Max. I feel like Warner Brothers is this. I wonder if this contract for this show was one of the last that they'll see, because Warner Brothers has been turning it around. They're trying to get rid of all sorts of wokeness, purging a lot of their studios. This one just happened to be the last one on the line that I guess they had to publish. I'm guessing, because they did bash, or trash, I should say, the Batwoman or the Batgirl show or movie that they had. They completely trashed it. So this one seemed to slip through the cracks, though. It's Velma from Scooby-Doo. If you're a Scooby-Doo fan, then this is not your show, because there is no Scooby-Doo in it. For one, they got rid of the dog. The famous dog that made it all back. And on top of that, they changed everything. And you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the trailer for Velma. You're about to watch the very beginning of it. And the very first thing out of Velma's mouth is mocking people like me, people like you, people like The Quartering, people like Nerdrotic, Comics Division, all these guys who speak out and give voice to those who are angry about their favorite IPs and franchises and stories being utilized by political activists to push a message. They are making fun of you. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Dear HBO Max, I just learned you intend to make a genre-bending comedic origin story of Judy Jetson. When I heard this new version of Judy Jetson wouldn't be boy crazy, the only word I had to describe my disgust is jinkies. If there is one thing the internet agrees on, it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die. Sincerely, Velma. Well, at least Judy's still white.
A lot to absorb there. For one, this is what they think it is to be an internet person who speaks out or criticizes a show. I hope you die. Nothing should ever change. Everything should stay the same. That's not what people are saying at all. That's not what people are saying. I'm not saying that there aren't people on the internet who go out of their way to be complete a-holes. Trust me, they exist. I know. But most of the criticism that comes down is valid criticism. And the leftists in Hollywood, they do not take that criticism well at all. They really don't. But you can kind of see that this was made to antagonize the crowd. If you look over here, serial killer on the loose, loves killing girls, obviously. Jones Gentleman Accessories, it's all supposed to be tongue-in-cheek kind of, references to the serial killer tropes, and that's a hit on Fred. And then here, Dear HBO Max, I just learned you intend on making a genre-bending comedic origin story of Judy Jetson. Kind of a meta joke here. When I heard this new version of Judy Jetson wouldn't be boy crazy, the only word I had to describe my disgust is jinkies. If there is one thing the internet agrees on, it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die. This is bait at this point. It's bait. We're all taking it. It's true. But this is bait. This is them trying to spitefully reach out and smack people like me, like you, like those who disagree with this nonsense. And then, of course, you have the racial joke that happens when it's revealed that Velma is now an Indian girl, played by Mindy Kaling. You'll remember her from The Office, the annoying girl from The Office. This all comes to a head right here. Oh, at least Judy Jetson's still white, because we're obviously all still racist. This was purposeful. This was 100% purposeful. And yet Mindy Kaling is she's pretending like this isn't, this is all shocking. The reaction is shocking. She said, I think of the characters in this as so iconic, but in no way is the gang defined by their whiteness, except for Fred. Fred's the only person who actually maintained being a white character, because I believe Shaggy is now black. I think Daphne's now Asian. So they just completely race swapped a lot of people. Again, this is on purpose because they wanted people to get mad. So I was a little bit surprised. Why were you surprised? You knew what you were doing. The very beginning of that trailer proves that you knew what you were doing. She goes on to say that most Indian American girls, when they see this skeptical, hardworking, kind of underappreciated character, they can hopefully identify with her. This was designed out of spite. Spite was behind this entire thing. They knew that if they did this, that people were going to get mad. They knew that they would try to, lash out and stop people from actually seeing it, which they have a successful track record of. Let's face facts. We have a successful track record of getting people to stay away from politically injected entertainment or propaganda. But the other thing that really kind of made it clear that they were trying to make people mad, it's not doing it now. As far as I tried it earlier, it doesn't work now. But if you tried typing in Velma into Google, the first thing that would happen is a bunch of pride and progress flags would start falling like confetti from the top of the screen. They are all about Velma now being a lesbian. She's no longer just this person who is obsessed with solving mysteries. She's now apparently a horn dog for girls. This has now been a pattern with Velma for a little bit. So they're just trying to break it full circle. They want to bring stuff from your past that you're nostalgic about into their camp. Now Velma is LGBT. And it sounds to me like Fred, I think he might end up being like this either incel or white pride guy from the way that they're talking. I don't know. But this is purposeful. This is 100% purposeful. They are mad at you. This is nothing but a testament to how good you are at ruining their day. They are so mad at you that they are now dedicating a story, or at least a trailer, to how you are when it comes to their machinations with your entertainment. Entertainment you grew up with, that you loved, that you cherish. But this is what they wanted. They wanted backlash. They absolutely wanted backlash, and they are getting it. As of right now, this trailer has 190 dislikes to 190K dislikes to 25K likes. The pattern goes like this. They create something that you love, off the back of what you love. You react, and they use that reaction as a way to sell this idea that everybody is racist and homophobic, they're bigots, and that this stuff needs to be made so that it normalizes in our society. so that we have a better tomorrow based off of what they define as moral. The thing is that if there's one thing about the left, especially the social justice left, is that they are the farthest thing from moral that you can get. They're racist, they're bigoted, they're sexist. They are a ideology that creates victims and oppressors. Okay? And if you fall into that victim category, then, no one can say anything bad about you, and if they do, it's because they're a horrible person. It doesn't even matter if you actually belong to that category that they say is protected. In fact, they'll come after you twice as hard. But they want you to react. This is bait. They want you to react. They want you to get mad. And they want you to speak out because then they can use your words against you and misinterpret your meaning. It happened to me back with the Lord of the Rings comments that I made about bastardizing and corrupting Tolkien and unnecessary race swaps and bad storylines. That way they can actually try to push the idea that if you don't like this, then guess what? You're one of those bad racists or sexists or bigots and stuff like that. It's not a very good sales tactic because people are continuously seeing people walk away from watching these woke programs. Lord of the Rings is not doing so well. She-Hulk did not do so well. Ghostbusters 2016, all the way back there, is still rated as one of the worst movies in the recent era. People just don't want to watch this stuff. And it's, again, I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. People don't want to watch it because they're not there to watch propaganda. They do not want to see politics injected into escapism. And they especially are going to get mad when you take something that they cherished, years ago as children and try to repurpose it for divisive purposes. It used to be something that brought them happiness. Now it's something that is being used to bash them over the head with messages. No one wants to show up and see that. So this show will eventually fail, just like all the others have failed. I'm going to guess that this is not going to get a season 2 because Warner Brothers seems to be turning a corner, and hopefully this is the last time we'll ever see anything woke out of them. But it's not going to be the last thing that gets bastardized that you loved when you were a kid. They're going to reach into the past and drag stuff kicking and screaming into the future and corrupt it as much as humanly possible. While this might be bait, I encourage you to keep speaking up. I encourage everyone to keep supporting those with platforms who do speak up, because the moment that we go silent is the moment that they actually get the stage. So they might be using you as a way to promote their stuff, but you know what? Let them. Because it's a losing strategy. They are accusing people who disagree with what they're doing of horrible things, and the more they do that, and it's proven that these people aren't horrible because they're accusing you, by the way. It's you and your friends, your family. They're accusing you. These people in Hollywood who don't know any better have no idea what it is to be a real-life person anymore. They live in an ideological bubble. The more they do it, the less their words have weight. So let them continue to do this. Continue to speak out. Definitely don't stop. It's really hurting them, and this makes it very obvious that what we're doing is working. Hey, give the video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.